And we are now live, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Christine. I'll call this meeting of the Township of Clearview Committee of Adjustments to order here at 7:01. As we begin our meeting, I would like to recognize the First Nation, Métis, and Inuit peoples of Canada as stewards and caretakers of the land. We acknowledge that Clearview Township is located within the boundaries of Treaty 18, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, the Teonatanis, the Wendat, and is home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples as part of an intricate nationhood that reaches across Turtle Island. At this time of truth and reconciliation, we welcome the opportunity to work together towards new understandings and new relationships and ask for guidance in all we do. I see that we have a full quorum of members tonight. Thank you, gentlemen, for attending. The minutes of our Committee of Adjustment meeting held on February 9th have been circulated for adoption. Are there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, I'd ask for a motion to adopt by Chuck and seconded by Dave. All in favor? That is carried. I would ask the members of the committee, does anyone have any pecuniary interest in the application before us this evening they wish to disclose? Seeing none. Our application tonight is a consent file 21B11, property located at 261 Bateau Road in the Bateau, Clearview Township. I would ask Christine to, well, this application has been before us. Do we need to go through the notice and so on? Have there been any additional comment since our last meeting?
Nothing other than what was provided to Rosalind that was included in her report. I'm happy to read the notice as a refresher if you choose, or I can just move forward with the recommendation that's been provided.
I would suggest just moving forward with the recommendation.
Okay. So the recommendation from the Planning Department, that Committee of Adjustment of the Township of Clearview hereby approves consent 21B11 pertaining to the lands at 261 Bateau, where the severed parcel will have a lot frontage of 30.5 meters and total lot area of 0.2 hectares. The retained parcel will have a frontage of 107 meters and total lot area of 2.1 hectares, subject to the following conditions. One, that the applicant meet all the requirements, financial and otherwise, of the municipality, including servicing bylaw charges and payment of the fee of $150 per lot for each certificate of consent to be issued. Two, that the applicant provides a description of the land which may be registered under the requirements of the Registry Act or Land Titles Act as applicable for each lot created. Three, that the applicant pay a minimum of $6,698.23 per newly created lot to the municipality, or an amount equal to the 5% parkland contribution as required by the Planning Act as a requirement of the approval. Please note that the flat rate number is a minimum as it is adjusted annually in accordance with the Statistics Canada quarterly construction price statistics based on the 12-month period ending September 30th. Four, that a bedrock water supply well be constructed on the portion of the property to be severed, and that confirmation be provided that this well can provide water that is of sufficient quality and quantity. The well should be tested in accordance with the MECP guideline D55, and a water quality sample should be analyzed for bacteriological and general chemistry parameters. The results should be provided to the township. Five, that the applicant be required to enter into a development agreement and pay the $2,000 cost for the agreement and peer review fees with the township, which will include the following. A, recommendations of the Whitewater Hydrology Limited dated July 16, 2021, as well as any results from construction of the well on the severed property and results from water quality sample, including any recommendations as a result of the analysis. And B, recommendations and mitigation measures of the Burke's Environmental Impact Study dated September 1st, 2021. And that is all I have.
Thank you very much. I see both Ms. Loft and Ms. White are on the call. We have had an opportunity to read the correspondence that had gone back and forth from the consulting engineer, as well as yourself and Whitewater Hydrology. Do you have anything that you would like to add?
Good evening. Through you, Chair, we do not have anything to add. I think Tisha provided the response that, to the peer review, and I think at this point we're satisfied with staff's report.
Right, and any concerns or questions with respect to the adjusted recommendation?
Through you, no. I've spoken to Tisha and I've spoken to the landowner, and they're fine with the conditions.
Okay, thank you. Members of committee, do you have any questions of either Rosalind, Christine, or Tisha? We'll start with Dave.
Not really any questions, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to say a couple of comments, though. First, I'd like to thank my fellow Committee of Adjustment members for unanimously supporting the deferral of the application back on November 10th, 2001. I think that we all had concerns and questions that night over the hydrogeology report, and I believe that we have a much better set of recommendations, or sorry, requirements in the recommendation tonight. Secondly, I'd like to thank the planners and the planning staff with the application. So Ms. Loft and Ms. Taggart, and a special thank you to Ms. Workman for guiding us through this rather technical planning issue and preparing the final staff report before us tonight. Third and lastly, I'd like to thank the hydrogeologist, Ms. White and Mr. Hopkins, for their initial report, the technical review, and the additional written comments, respectively, with regard to the hydrogeology on the property. Water quality and quantity are, to say the least, extremely important to property owners as well as their neighbors. Therefore, based on the particular requirement number 4, I was very impressed with, and of the recommendations tonight. I certainly will be supporting the application tonight.
Thank you for your comments. Other members of committee? Barry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to, Christine Loft, since you are representing the applicant, I want to be assured that they understand all these conditions that are part of this severance. This is one of our more complicated severances that we've had before us, and I just want to be assured that you and your client totally understand all these conditions.
Yes, thank you. So through the chair to committee member Burton, we did go through the conditions, and there certainly was some hesitation in the beginning. There's a significant cost to that. However, they are confident that, you know, typically you would be selling a lot that would not have a well on it, and there is certainly a benefit to a well existing on a property for a potential purchaser. So they felt that that it would be, you know, money well spent, and that they once it's sold, you know, they can recoup the cost of that well. And ultimately, we were fairly confident that committee would only support the application with it, and so they understand the conditions and the costs that they'll incur.
Perfect. Thank you.
Dan or Chuck, do you have any comments? No? All right. I too would like to thank not only the applicant and his professionals, but staff and committee members for having the patience to make sure we do this right. And as Member Rowell said, I think we're at a better conclusion. So I'd ask then for a motion, presumably to accept the staff recommendation, moved by Dave, seconded by Chuck. Any further questions or comments before I call the vote? Seeing none, all in favor? That is carried unanimously. So be it resolved that the Committee of Adjustment of the Township of Clearby hereby approves consent 21B11 pertaining to lands at 261 Bateau Road as per the conditions within the report. So again, thank you for your patience with this, and
Thank you.
20-day appeal period, as you're aware of, but we look forward to seeing this development proceed.
Thank you very much. And Committee Member Burton, my condolences. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm aware that you were aware.
Came in. Any other new business from committee or staff? Yes, Christine.
I just wanted to mention OCA has announced their conference. I think originally they were going to be holding their conference this year in June at the town of Blue Mountains. But I noticed on the website when I went to register, it has been changed to September of this year and will now be in Peterborough. And I reached out and they had confirmed that registration will start early in July. So if any of you are interested, please let me know, and I'll certainly reach out again closer to July just to confirm if any of you are interested in attending, and I can take care of registering us for that.
Do you have the exact dates yet?
I believe it was the 28th, in around that time. It was later in the month, I believe, but I can send out an email to all of you to confirm that as well. But I think it was the 28th and 29th. During the week.
Sorry, of September?
Yes.
Of September. Okay. Thank you for that update. Anyone else have any new business? Well, Mr. Burton, you were correct. This was a rather brief meeting. Our next meeting is tentatively scheduled for April 13th. Are there proposed applications for that meeting, Christine?
Yes, we have received 4 at this point for our next meeting.
Excellent. All right. Anything else, gentlemen? Seeing none, then I'll ask for a motion for adjournment. By Dan and Barry. Thank you very much. Again, Barry.